Come strong winds and rain, and often, of course, there are power outages. One topic that always comes up, putting power lines underground rather than having them overhead. Wink News anchor Annette Montgomery joins us in the studio now on this. Annette, you spoke with LCC. Are the underground ones that we have actually protecting better during storms?
Well, Chris, the answer to that question depends on where you live. In coastal areas like Sanibel, for example, that has a large number of underground power lines, those were the ones LCEC told me took the longest to restore. The reason: water and power lines don't mix well. Babcock Ranch, the town with no above-ground power lines, was praised after Hurricane Ian. All 5,000 people who live there never lost power.
We wanted to prove that a new town and the environment work hand in hand.
The proof is in the pudding, but Karen Ryan with LCEC will tell you.
When you put water and underground power lines together, it's never good.
Hurricane Ian is LCEC's proof it's not pudding every area should try to incorporate.
In coastal areas, underground just is not ideal. Now, when it's inland in areas, that are not prone to storm surge, then underground power lines can be beneficial. Some of our underground facilities that were damaged out on Sanibel, they took the longest to restore power, and it's because the saltwater corrosion damages them.
This is not an uncommon sight after a storm here in Southwest Florida, but Ryan says it's an underground problem that can lead to problems for those living above it.
I'm sure you've seen lots of pictures, or maybe even in person, trees that are turned over. So they have a big root system, and that's where the wires are. Just rip the underground facilities out of the ground.
And Sanibel has a number of underground power lines through LCEC as well as Ave Maria, and then, of course, Babcock Ranch. Now, Ryan says for newer communities, there are benefits to putting those power lines underground. But as for the power lines above ground, the biggest problem facing them during storms are projectiles. So, of course, the best thing is to put away anything that could potentially fly during a storm. And obviously, we know that. It would be very dangerous.
We all want our power to be restored as quickly as possible, whatever it takes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea to bring things in for all kinds of reasons. Thank you. Meantime,